Welcome back to an explained video. In this series we talk about going through past HSC questions or past exam questions in general. Today we are going to be looking at this question here. It says outline the relationship between Bohr's atomic model and Planck's equation E equals hf. Now obviously when it comes to these kind of questions, when we are doing a outline, we are trying to provide features. So features and characteristics. And then on this hand here we have Bohr's atomic model. So we need to discuss that point, and then we need to talk about this point here. So you know, how does what's the relationship between Bohr's atomic model and then Planck's equation? So the first point we can point out is that Bohr's atomic model first proposed that we have quantized electron shells. So proposed that electron shells or electrons belong in quantized energy shells or energy levels. Okay, so that's the first bit we can talk about, and then what we can say is using this model, so we can say using this model Bohr could describe the Balmer series. Now for those who might have forgotten what the Balmer series is, remember that is the emission spectra of hydrogen. So the idea is if you have any sort of transition of electrons from whatever shell to shell number 2, that will emit electromagnetic radiation within the visible spectra of light. Okay, so using the model, Bohr could describe the Balmer series of visible light emission spectra. Okay, and what we can say is that the energy of the photon emitted was the energy difference between our two energy shells. So what we can state here is the energy of our photon is given by the energy of E2, so E2 being the final, minus by En, whichever value that we have here. Okay, Balmer series, the energy of that emitted was the energy difference between the two energy shells from N to N equals to 2. So is that. Okay. This obviously was only possible due to Planck's proposal of the fact that light is quantized. So this was only possible due to Planck's proposal that light is quantized. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this concept that the electron shells or energy shells would be quantized as well, and therefore we wouldn't be able to explain the light spectra that way as well there. All right, so that provides our outline between the relationship of Bohr's atomic model and Planck's equation. We can see here, we can even write that Planck's equation will be the energy difference of the two energy levels when we see that transition of the electrons. Hopefully you found this explanation useful in answering this response. You can always check out the other videos on this channel when it comes to explaining parts of the atomic structure.